bro, chill out. Like, it's not that serious. It's not that deep. I know, like, everything in your head, everybody in your circle, like is saying all this, or you have all these thoughts in your head, and you just think you have to get ahead, you have to grind, you have to work, you have to do this shit. And I'm not saying you shouldn't grind, you shouldn't do all this, but like, bro, like, chill. Like, it's not as serious as you think it is. Like, it's not. And I know you think, like, you're still thinking, like, fuck what you're saying. Like, I gotta grind. Like, I gotta get ahead. I gotta get to the top. And like, whatever I'm doing, like, but it's not, man. Like, loosen up first. Like, laugh. Like, chill out. Loosen up. Like, I'm gonna change the tone of this video. It doesn't gotta be so serious. Like, loosen up for a second. But so I'm gonna give you a few reasons why why you shouldn't take life and your grind so serious. Like, life and your work, life and your grind so serious. Okay, so reason number one is your life is and your grind are actually more meaningful when you don't take life so serious. When you have, like, time for downtime, you have time with your family, your friends. Like, when you're just grinding, when you're just in a zone and you're just going and going and going, and like, you think that, like, you just gotta grind, which you do have to put hours and work into your craft to perfect it. But what you realize is it slowly loses its meaning. Like, I know you've been in those situations where you're just grinding, and like, slowly over time you kind of lose sight, you lose grip. You're like, you don't know what you're grinding for anymore. Like, there's no meaning behind it, you know? But if you actually, like, I know you're, like, being as disciplined as you are with your work, but if you take that discipline and you put it into, like, your downtime, like, think about if you go to the gym. If you go to the gym and you, like, hit your legs really hard, like, you do a bunch of squats and you, like, really, like, get a good ass workout, that next day, are you gonna hit your legs again, like, as hard? I mean, you can if you want, but, like, are you really building muscle? You're not gonna be able to hit them as hard. Like, they gotta no, bro, you're gonna recover. Like, you're gonna take that time and you're gonna recover. So you have to do the same thing with your mental. If you've been, like, pushing your mental, you've been being creative, or you've been, like, really grinding in whatever you're doing, you gotta be as disciplined as you are with your grind as your downtime. You gotta be like, okay, if I'm gonna grind this hard and this much, I need to take time to go out with my family, to relax, to enjoy life. Because if you don't do that, you're gonna get burnt out. You're like, there's gonna feel like there's no meaning behind your life and your work. Like, it's gonna feel meaningless. Because another thing with that is, when you actually are disciplined with that time, and you, like, say you go, like, you grind your ass off, like, you know you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and then you actually are disciplined and you take that time to go out with your family, like, laugh, have a good time, like, tell your mom, like, you love her, like, give her a hug. Like, when was the last time you did that shit? Like, if you've been really grinding and you, like, haven't been thinking about it, when was the last time, like, you hugged your mom? Like, go do that shit. Like, whatever though. Like, if you really are disciplined and you take that off time, you'll find that when you come back to your work, like, your work has more meaning, your grind has more meaning. Because, like, think about like, if you go out with your mom and or your family, and you have a good time, you know, then when you come back to your work, say you're trying to, like, make a certain amount of money to get a house or something, then you have, like, then in the back of your mind, when you're grinding, you know what you're grinding for. You think about your family, you think about your future kids, you think about like all your little memories, and it pushes you and motivates you more to grind. So like those little things like are really matter. Those little things are really important. I'll get to that in a sec, but like you'll find your work has more meaning because you'll find that those little things, those little downtimes are the things that give your grind meaning. Without those things, there is no meaning in your grind, in your work. Like you gotta take the chance to experience those things so you know like what you're grinding for. But yeah, that's one of the first reasons is like your work in your life and your grind has no meaning. Like it's meaningless when you take your grind too serious. Like another reason, second reason, is your your work and your grind is 10 times more enjoyable like when your life is balanced. When you don't have balance, you'll find that your work becomes like sloppy. It becomes like just whatever, you know? It becomes shit. Like it's not enjoyable. But you'll find when you take these little off times, when you take these little breaks in life just to sit down and enjoy it. Like think about something you did as a little kid. Like think about like what you did and have fun as a little kid. Like you would go ride your bike or you go climb a tree. Like go do that shit. Like take time to like really go do that shit. Like I said before, be disciplined with that time and really schedule it out and take that time to just enjoy it. Like go on a fucking run, like, and not like a run just to work out. Just go on, like if it's a nice day, go outside, like go do something. Like have fun, spend time with like spend time. Like the reason you're trying to succeed in whatever you're doing is because you think it's gonna make you fulfilled in your life, happy. Like that's deep down like why we're trying to succeed in whatever we're doing. But if all you're doing is grinding, like you're having like that, like it just feels like a fucking 9 to 5 job. That's not what it should be. Like that's one of the reasons you gotta prioritize your downtime. You gotta prioritize your time with your friends, your family, because when you do that, you're gonna come back to your work and it's gonna be way more enjoyable. Like one thing I could like use like another gym thing is like if you're somebody that goes to the gym, think about that like one time that like you fucked around and you missed the gym, like on an accident or like something like that. Like yeah, that night like you felt guilty, right? Like say you were hitting it hard like for like a certain period of time and you had that one time where you accidentally missed it or something, you felt a little guilty. Think about the next morning when you woke up and you went to the gym. Think about like when you woke up, you felt so refreshed, you felt so motivated. You went in there and you killed that shit and you felt like hella good while doing it. Like you enjoyed that day because you had that day where you missed. So like when you came back, like you missed doing that work, if that makes sense. Like sometimes when you're just grinding, you gotta prioritize that off time so that like you could kind of miss your work in a way. Like it kind of makes you like miss, like just like with the gym, like you miss that one day, it makes you miss it. Like you're like, oh shit, like you're not used to it. So when you take that off time, you like laugh, you do that, you're like, it makes you like miss your grind. Like if your grind is something you really like want to do, if you take that off time, you come back, you enjoy your work and your grind 10 times more because you really prioritize that off time. And then last thing I'm gonna wrap it up with is when all you're doing is grinding and like you take your life so serious, is it makes you forget the little things, like just the little things in life, like your experiences, your memories, your time with your family. Like when was the last time you told your mom you love her? Like that sounds so cliche and everybody fucking says that, but really take the time to like contemplate. But yeah, really like take the time to contemplate and think about like everybody's life is limited, and like your parents, your mom, your closest people in your life, they're gonna pass one day. And like what are you gonna have to remember? Like just you grinding like 24/7? Or you wanna look back and like have these memories? Like all this shit sounds cliche, but it's so true. Like you gotta take that time to spend with them. You should grind and you should want to succeed in whatever you're doing, and you should enjoy whatever you're doing. Like